One thing that I think that's been great about the evolution of your career is how you've grown from being an artist into now being an executive, putting out different artists, having your own tours and different things. So for you, and I know from talking to you over the years about all these different things and Gutter Rainbows, etc., when you launched your label, that I wanted to know from you, like, now that you've gone through that and experienced it and everything, what were 2 or 3 pivotal moments as a businessman that kind of like clicked with you to be like, oh man, you know, here's how I can build my brand and become something bigger than I realized I could?
Definitely working with 3D.
Okay.
Working with Drew Ha and Noah. They're from Duck Down, but they have a distribution company called 3D. And that Gutter Rainbows project, I did it with them, and that was a success for me. So I learned a lot working with those guys.
Right.
Ryan Leslie.
Okay.
Ryan Leslie and his company, I think it's called Disruptive Media.
Right.
They helped me realize the vision for Quality Club. Okay. QualityClub.com is very important to me. It's where I sell my wares and my music and have free downloads and everything. And then meeting Nico. Meeting Nico is, I don't know if you met Nico is or he's over here somewhere. But meeting Nico and Kay Valentine and, you know, other artists like Jessica Care Moore and Corey Moe, these are people who I already knew.
Right.
But meeting younger, newer artists, they gave me a new charge and they made me want to invest my money in things other than me.
Okay.
And that was important for me to see how I could expand my brand by lending my blueprint out to artists who I had faith in.
Right. And you've obviously, through your work and interviews and everything, making songs about Lauryn Hill and praising women in rap. Obviously with Kay Valentine now, you're actually putting out females and everything. So with that, why do you think it's important to champion women in rap?
I mean, I think that women in general make music from a more natural, organic place than men.
Okay.
That's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? But beyond that, I think that the balance, hip hop is not represented properly. Women love hip hop, and hip hop don't give enough back to women, and don't represent women in enough good lights. And I mean, through my whole career, when my first album, you know, we put Jane Doe on that album.
Right.
You know, I've worked with my first song that I ever came out with. My first feature was Bahamadia.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jean Grey is an artist that I worked with a lot.
Extensively.
You know, but that's anecdotal evidence.
Right.
It don't matter how many female MCs I work with. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact is that I try to look at it like beyond gender. I try to look at like who's dope. Right. And I think too often we have this gender lens on when it comes to hip hop.
Okay. And then how is what you're doing now with your own stuff leading to building your brand, do you think, in ways that you didn't think about 5 or 10 years ago?
I didn't care about making money 5 or 10 years ago, but I think that's a good thing.
Okay.
You know, I think that I wasn't supposed to be focused on making money. You know, now,
why is that?
Because if my focus was making money, that would take focus away from the art and being dope. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think you didn't think about blending the two more?
Because if I did that, I would just be a mediocre MC instead of a great MC. Like if my focus was I'm gonna blend the business with the money, I'd be a fake Jay-Z. There's already Jay-Z, he's already brilliant at that.
Right.
Jay-Z is brilliant at, I'm a businessman, capitalist, entrepreneur, hustler,
right.
But I'm also nice with this mic. I'm not that. I'm nice with this mic. You know what I'm saying? I gotta concentrate on that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, I was on the phone with Chuck D today.
Okay.
He told me, Chuck D said, I'm not a businessman. He said, I'm an artist. I know this art. He said, I know, you know, how my personal, I know how to do my business. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a business, I'm an artist. Now, I feel that, you know what I'm saying? Like, my goal is not to be good as a businessman. I'm good as a businessman to serve the art. Okay. I try to be good as a businessman to serve the art. Like, I started Javotti Media because I needed a way to put the art out. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Well, too, also, obviously.
But to add on to that, but now that I'm in a groove, now I'm also starting to think about revenue streams and also, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right. Yeah. But I also know that with Gutter Rainbows, you did learn how you could sell fewer records and make more money at the same time. Yeah. But I also wanted you to explain, obviously with your grandmom, with the inspiration for the name of the company, kind of like building up the kind of building up like a family structure and making things more like paying homage to things that I don't think a lot of times in rap there's enough of that, as far as like whether it's ancestry or family or people that came before us.
Yeah, well, that's my whole thing, is that we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors.
Right.
And, you know, Javotti was, my grandmother was an opera singer, and she used to sing opera in the house back in the days, and I just remember her being an artistic spirit. And so that's why I named the company.
Yeah, and I think too that to that end, you've had so many different good partnerships, whether it was with Mos or Hi-Tek or different people that you've worked with throughout the years so extensively. So how have you gone from working with them creatively to now wearing both hats, being an executive and being an artist, and collaborating with the people you're being an executive with?
Very cautiously.
Okay.
You know, and some of those relationships you have to realign yourself and learn. You know, my relationship with Mos and Hi-Tek has evolved over the years.
Right.
You know, and the way that we deal with each other as brothers might be different from the way we deal with each other as businessmen. Right. You know, but it's about achieving that balance.
Right. And how, like, what's like a lesson either with one of them or one of your artists that you've learned to kind of how you look at the things differently?
Say that again?
Like, how have you learned that you need to look at things differently from a business versus friendship versus creative versus personal?
I think you just can't take it personal. You have to understand that everybody, you have to approach people where they're at, not where you want them to be.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's an important lesson, because a lot of times we want to force our perceptions or our wants or our desires on other people.
Yeah, you have to understand, you know, an important lesson I learned from both Nico and K Valentine and Hi-Tek really is you have your vision, you might have your vision or your understanding, your idea of what somebody sounds like. Like when I first signed Nico, I would be giving him beats. Yo, here's a folder of beats, because I know what I'm doing. I'm Talib Kweli, of course I know what I'm doing.
Right.
But then he'd be like, I got beats for my crew. And I have to step back and realize I fucked with him because of what he was doing.
Right.
So why would I come in and try to say, well, I have a better way to do what you're doing? That was something I learned very early working with these new artists, and I understood why record companies do that. Because that happened to me a couple of times. Right. When they come in and try to change your formula, it was like, well, you fucked with me because of what I was doing. So why not just let me do what I was doing?
Right, right.
You know, same thing with K Valentine. It was like working on the mixtape, I would make suggestions that she would push back hard against, and we had to find a balance to whereas we could communicate, and because I had to understand where she was at and where her buttons were, and she had to understand where my buttons were.
Okay, and then obviously now that you're more in, to that point, being more in creative control yourself with your own career, like what made recently the train of thought coming back with that? What made the right time to kind of put some of that stuff?
Honestly, Quality Club is important to me, and I wanted to have product for that. And I said, here's a collection of songs that have never been for sale.
Right.
So I might as well put it out and make some money off of some of these people who have made money off of me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what that project was.
Gotcha.
And there's gonna be a volume 2 to that, because I want to make some more money off of it.
As you should.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I'm not gonna make that much money because people don't buy records anymore. But there'll be a little bit of cash. I can pay a couple, the light bill or something.
Right.
Pay my light bill next month.
The lights got to stay on,
Yeah.
man. That's what it's all about.